Tattoos and piercings? Say that into the microphone.
Tattoos and piercings?
All right. Sure, why not?
Why not?
Sean Ramsey. We'll tag him in this episode if we post it on social media.
Oh, it'll be our biggest one yet then.
I might be. Sean Ramsey's response.
Only because he just started listening. He didn't go back and listen to our other ones about, the other wonderful, what was it, cat lick and antifreeze and...
Cats and antifreeze?
Cats and antifreeze.
Something. We've got some great titles. Yeah, Sean.
We don't have content, but we have titles.
You've never had a tattoo done by Sean Ramsey, have you?
I have not. I haven't had a tattoo in about 14 years now.
Oh, well, this could be a good topic. Anyhow, the show is what to do with your old explicit content, and what does it have to do with tattoos? It just happens to be our topic today.
Yes.
And I'm Tom.
And I'm Jack.
So what are we going to talk about when it comes to, aside from Sean Ramsey, who we've already name-dropped, I really need to call him. I got a tattoo I want really bad on my upper arm. But yeah, he did the Bill, he did a Buffalo Bill Santa. He did a Celtic knot with my 3 kids' names in it, and my tattooed wedding band, and this Clada. So yeah,
I've actually thought about
having
having my knuckles done and both of my hands and my arms. Believe it or not.
Awesome. Well, if anybody goes to Sean Ramsey at Canalside Tattoo, mention us. Maybe we'll get a free tattoo out of the deal. Although I did win one of the tattoos with karaoke. But I still tipped him. I feel like even if you get a free tattoo, you got to tip the guy.
Tip, yes.
You got to tip your tattoo artist.
Just like when you get a discount at the restaurant.
Yeah.
About one of those coupons or something
for sure.
Like that.
Tip the waitress. Tip the waitress on the full check, not just the...
Yeah, don't be cheap like that.
Yeah, don't be cheap. I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
I know you're not either.
What'd you give up for Lent?
Nothing.
No?
No.
I did something different this year.
What'd you give up? Well, I thought we were
I'll
talking about...
I'll tell it
Does
on
this
the
have
radio.
to do with tattoos and piercing?
It doesn't. We may get back to it. We may not.
Okay, go ahead.
We just floated into it.
What'd you give up?
I didn't give something up. Well, I kind of did. I did something a little different. And because I don't like the whole idea of like giving up chocolate or even beer or whatever. It's kind of a cliche, and like a lot of things that people give up they wouldn't really find very difficult. So you're supposed to give up something that's a little bit more closer to the heart. So I had decided, this is the first time I told anybody since now that Lent is over, that I had basically decided that every time I went out to eat, I would leave an extra $20.
Wow.
Yeah, I wanted it to hurt a little bit, so that I, was thinking about why I was doing it, and if it meant something, because it should be something that means something, and $20 to most of us means something. So it was not the cheapest thing I've ever done.
So, like, if you went to Burger King and you were just ordering
any place they would accept tips.
Any place that took tips.
Yeah, any place that accept tips.
That's going to be, can our next episode be tips? Because tips are getting out of hand.
Yeah, we could do that.
We do that.
All right. You want to start over?
No, we're fine here. I mean, we still got tattoos and piercings.
Okay, we'll get back to that.
I'm still trying to figure out
that was a teaser for the next episode, folks, for tips.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that with the next episode. But I'm still trying to figure out why you came up with the tattoos and piercings.
It's because one of the, my Saturday morning gig.
Okay.
My Saturday morning gig, I'll encounter a lot of people in their natural environments, if you will, out on the street.
And we got to back up. So you're telling people what your Saturday morning gig is?
I didn't tell them anything. I'm just...
Well, we should.
Why?
Because so they know. Not everybody knows us.
I talk to people a lot on Saturday mornings.
So Jack is being humble. Jack runs a charity called Hands for Hope. And people come to this truck and he prays with them, and he gives them food and advice and... Well, prayers.
I try not to give them advice.
No advice. If anything, Jack and I have proven over the last
the name of this podcast.
episodes, we're not great at giving advice. But yeah, so it gives out food, meets a lot of people that are, I don't want to say that they're necessarily at their lowest point, but you definitely meet some people at their lowest point.
Well, you meet a lot of people that are longing for purpose and looking to be loved by somebody, not for any other gratification purpose other than the fact that they are humanity and they deserve to be loved just for that.
Were you the one that told me, this has always stuck with me. I work at a not-for-profit, I teach students with special needs and whatnot, but I remember somebody telling me that there were people that we worked with, and I thought this was Hands for Hope, that just had literally no human contact, and that's why just holding their hands or giving them a hug.
Yeah,
was
that's
so
why we don't have a
important.
handrail on the truck.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, we have a truck that we drive into the areas and pull up. We have a little set of stairs that we throw up a back, and we've a number of times had people ask us, or recommend that we should put a handrail up for people to use to get in and out of the truck. And we purposely don't do that because of the fact that it gives us the opportunity to offer some human touch to people. So we can, the little 70-year-old lady that's having trouble getting in and out of the truck, we can offer a hand and she's actually get her hand hold for a second or two and feels that human contact. Or, the guy that most people think is homeless because he pushes a shopping cart around town, but he's probably one of the most beautiful people you'd ever want to meet, but nobody wants to come in contact with him because he looks a little funny or whatever, and you get to hold his hand for a minute while he's glowing in and out of the truck, stuff like that. So yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. Is it's one of the locations that we got a very, very diverse class of people in there as far as I don't know the right way to put it.
Socioeconomic.
I don't want to say not economic, but I suppose you could say sexual diversity.
Oh,
is male, female, multi-gender identifying.
Really?
Cross-dress. Yeah, there's quite a few of them in this one location that we go to. It's been interesting to watch because at first, when they first come out, I mean, it's like meeting a lot of people. When they first come, like you meet somebody with a birthmark on their face or something like that, and when you first meet them, you're like, oh my gosh, I can't take my eyes off it. But then after a while, you don't even notice it. Yeah. And it's kind of like that with a lot of these people because you're forming relationships with them, and they, maybe a couple of ladies that come out to the truck, and they'll kind of test us initially because they've got a lot of tattoos on them of multicolors, a couple of rainbow flags, different things like that. So they don't, they figure if we're out there doing ministry, we're probably going to condemn them, which I'm not. But a lot of times what they'll do is they'll come up one at a time. It's like, the younger one or the older one or the bigger one or the smaller one or whatever will come up, and the other one might come up later, or the next month we'll see one or the other, I track everything, so we know exactly which homes are coming from and which apartments and stuff like that. So I can just look at it and say, okay, this person from apartment 3 has been in, this is not the same person that came up last time. So you kind of put it together. So after 3 or 4 or 6 months, and you've had each of them up there independently, talking to them, getting to know them a little bit, and offering to pray with them, and then you can just kind of see a little bit of a bond being formed because they know. I mean, because the sneaky thing to do would be to try to, pray the gay out of them, and I don't do that. I feel like I'm just. Oh Lord! I'm trying to pray.
I shouldn't laugh. I mean, that's a nervous laugh.
But it's true. It's just. But it's not the thing to do.
Have you seen any of those documentaries where they take these poor people and take them to these camps where they, beat the snot out of them, and it's pretty horrible.
I pray the same thing for them that I pray for myself, that God would become real to them and know that then they would know that they are loved. I mean, you and I were talking before, when I first got here about the depression that we can tend to fall in and stuff like that. It's because we tend to forget that we are loved ultimately. I mean, by something greater than ourselves. And that's all we're out there trying to do on Saturdays is let these people know that they're loved. So that's kind of what I was coming at with the tattoos and stuff like that, and the piercings, some of them are outrageous. Like the spikes coming out the foreheads or the, lips tattooed on the side of their neck and, whatever they are, rainbow flags across the side of their head, whatever it is, they're a spectacle for a reason, because they want to be seen. They want to be acknowledged. They want to be noticed. Why? Because they want to be loved.
Interesting. Yeah.
That's what I think it is. I mean, you don't do things like that not expecting people not to notice it. You do things like that knowing full well that they're going to notice it. Now, the thing that's up to us as a society to do is not necessarily to embrace it. I'm not condemning or condoning it one way or another, but I'm talking about the people coming up to you as another person or brother and sister of your creator, because I don't care what you want to argue. We have a creator. Something created us. Someone created us. And as they come up to you, how are you going to react to that? Are you going to feel, going back to the the handrail thing on the truck, are you going to be standoffish? Or are you just going to look at them and say, wow, that's a really pretty tattoo? Because a lot of them are gorgeous. Even though, we have some of them coming up there that have, with tattoos, that have typically very dark meanings on it and stuff like that. And, but at the same time, I don't know what it means to them.
Yeah.
But I know the fact that they put enough trust in us as a group of individuals coming out there on a Saturday morning with food and clothing and stuff like that to put themselves out there, that the last thing I need to do is have them walking away feeling like worse for it.
Yeah, it's tough to say. It's like neck tattoos to me. I'm not entirely used to them.
Oh, there's a ton of neck. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
there's a ton of neck tattoos
with
with this one.
This is going to make me sound like a boomer because I'm close, but not quite. But
are you an Xer or a boomer?
I'm an X.
Okay.
So when I went to college, I didn't go to college till I was older. I was like 35, but it was in 2000. And I took a sociology class, and it was online. But I think this was dial-up days. But whatever the case, we had like a fierce debate amongst people about tattoos, and like neck tattoos.
Well, I think the meanings change. I think the meanings change on them throughout the.
Oh, I'm saying even in 20 years, it's changed, because there were people 20 years ago that were like, my mother she hated tattoos. I got my first tattoo after she died.
The people that get them even.
Oh, for sure. No, I think it's more mainstream now.
Well, it's not even more mainstream. It's more of like a fad type of thing. Like you got, this just happened this week. You know who Jelly Roll is, I assume.
Kind of. Yeah.
Well, you know what he looks
he's a
like.
Rapper, right? He's a big guy.
Yeah, he's a big guy like huge
me.
Guy, and he's got tattoos.
It's
kind of like, they look like jailhouse tattoos, for lack of a better description, on his face.
He's making fat fashionable again. I appreciate that.
Well, but he's so popular right now that people that carry themselves like him, or like the way he carries himself, have got to be, even if it's unwittingly, trying to get the same type of things. Because I saw a guy this week, with face tattoos in person, just like that, all over his face, the little tiny ones. And I've seen face tattoos before, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
So we through what we do on Saturday, we're around a lot of people like that, and that have face tattoos and that, and then we also do some work in the city. But these specific ones, the design element themselves looks strikingly similar to this Jelly Roll face tattoos and stuff like that. But again, it's like an acceptance, acknowledgement. Look, you can accept him, you can accept me, type of thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I remember the first guy I ever saw with head or neck tattoos. He was a regular of mine when I was a bartender. This had to be late 80s, early 90s, and he was a car mechanic. And, we always used to joke because he had a tattoo on his head that was the only job he could ever have. But he had his whole head tattooed with a spider web. Like he had shaved his head, and his entire face was like a spider web. And it was weird. I think I have to agree with you when you say, it's like the mole. You look at the big mole in the nose, but then after a while it becomes like, oh, that's just Jack's mole. I'm used to it after a while.
Speaking of which, my brother has a friend.
Mole?
No, he has a friend who has a knot on his head.
Yeah.
That's I don't know. It's got to be the size of a big marble, like a knot. And if I remember correctly, he has an eyeball tattooed on it.
Nice.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't recall it being done particularly well, and he was not the type of person that would care if it was done really well.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a noticeable thing.
Yeah, and and the good thing about tattoos becoming more mainstream is they're probably healthier too. You know what I mean? In terms of the regulation, and you're not going to have to worry. I mean, I knew kids even in high school, like the bad kids. I air quotes. You can't see them. They'd have like these. They'd have somebody take like a needle with black ink and tattoo something really bizarre on them that they would have for the rest of their life.
Oh yeah, I knew a young lady that did that.
Yeah, see, because that was cool.
Did that on her butt cheek. What did she have? Oh, she had the word. I think it was the word bad.
Nice.
Yeah, so she was a bad.
She was a badass.
Yeah,
exactly.
Exactly.
You can say ass.
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to get censored.
See, I don't think
you probably won't say it. I'll say it.
I don't remember if that was. I'll say it if I stub my toe.
Yeah. Good.
But, I don't remember if that's what it was or not, but I think so. But anyway.
Yeah, no, but I mean, there probably is still a certain element in society that still judges people based on their tattoos and piercings. I mean, yeah. I guess I probably do as well. I mean,
it's no different than, if you see somebody of a different race and outside of an element where you would expect to see them, you are automatically a little taken aback.
Yeah.
You go into a Chinese restaurant and there's a Mexican guy working behind the counter, you're going to be a racist really quick.
Holy mackerel. It's so funny you say that. I thought I was the only person. Like I went to, we used to work for Olive Garden, and they opened, they were owned by General Mills at the time. They owned Red Lobster, Olive Garden, and then they opened up a Chinese buffet. Mm-hmm. And I mean, I don't know what it's like now, but Olive Garden back in the day, I mean, you could eat off the floor in that place. They had such incredible controls for everything. And so I thought to myself, well, this is going to be great. They open up a Chinese restaurant and it's going to be, high quality food, because Chinese restaurants have maybe an unfair stereotype of being kind of dirty.
I have a cleaning business. I'm not sure it's unfair.
So, yeah, I mean, I make like wonton soup at home because I just don't trust Chinese restaurants. And I don't think they serve cats or anything, but they do just seem to be a little less tidy. But the thing is like, when I went down there, we go and the Chinese food was amazing, but the waitress was like some middle-aged white lady, and I just it completely ruined my dining experience.
Flo came up to take my order.
Something. I'm just like, how is this even possible? You can't. Like, it's a Chinese restaurant.
One time I was on vacation in Florida, and we went into. We thought, we were on vacation. This is back when I was young and stupid and didn't have any right to be on vacation because I didn't have the money to pay for it anyway. But I did it, and. So we're going to treat ourselves and go out to a nice Chinese restaurant. We walk in there and there was nothing but Mexican people or through one end of the place to the other. And I'm like, oh, this is not what I expected. It was like instantly you're already kind of feel like you're let down. You don't know if I think so. You get anybody in the right situation, they're going to be judgmental no matter what.
Oh, when we were in Toronto for Tracy will tell you this story because she still hasn't let me forget it. It's been 15 years. We were on our honeymoon. We were honeymooning in Toronto, and we went down to Chinatown, and I wanted this. I was just determined to have this, authentic Chinese meal. So I found this restaurant. It was like you had to go down. It was like a basement level or a split level.
Those are the best ones.
And I thought, oh yeah. I mean, these people didn't speak a lick of English, blah, blah, blah. But I remember going to the bathroom. The bathroom was just disgusting. And then the restaurant itself, all the chairs were mix and match. And it was just kind of
another topic right there, restaurant bathrooms.
And then she got food poisoning.
Yeah.
So the whole rest of the honeymoon was kind of ruined.
Ugh.
Yeah, it was a bummer. She was just like, oh, it's his idea. You had to go to an authentic Chinese restaurant.
But rabbit trailing back to the tattoos, yeah.
How do we get from tattoos to Chinese restaurants?
Who cares?
To Sean Ramsey. We'll say Sean Ramsey one more time.
Sean Ramsey.
Sean Ramsey, if you're listening and you made it this far in the episode, we'll give you a hug next time we see you. I'm not giving you any money. Although I'm going to get tattoos soon. Go ahead.
I was going to say that getting back to the tattoos, it's been kind of interesting to watch the progression. As I said, they will, the ladies will come out one ahead and one behind, month by month. And then eventually after 6 months and they know you figured out the story, and they're coming out together and to pray with them. And the one lady just looks at me after I got done praying with her and she gave me a fist bump.
Nice.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what was said that she felt it was worthy of a fist bump, but I was pretty happy about that. But then I think I'm starting to put together the son of one of the ladies is over there and kind of floats between a couple places. And he has become very fond of us as well. and very kind and loving towards us, which is nice. You know, it's nice to get a bond between people that, you know, I mean, I know I'm not going to necessarily try to bash people just based on anything I see about them. And I do not want them walking away not feeling loved in any situation or any conversation that I have with people. But it's nice to, recently we were out there and he kind of sought me out and gave me a, hey, how you doing? You know, it's good to see you kind of thing. Like purposely went out of his way to do that. And again, it wasn't, you know, terribly expected because, you know, he's littered with tattoos, one, you know, from top to bottom.
We got the alarm, folks.
He's littered with tattoos from top to bottom himself. And it's just nice to know that, you know, the ultimate reality of it, as far as the tattoos are concerned, people just want to be loved.
Yeah.
And know that they're loved.
Yeah, I think the term attention seeking is a bit of a pejorative, but it really, attention seeking behavior is at its core. It's just people, like you said, seeking
They
love,
want to have their hand held.
Loved. Yeah.
Even if it's a shake or holding their hands while they're saying a prayer with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. I never thought of tattoos that way. It gave me a totally new perspective.
Yeah. Well, so you want to hear what I was going to get on my hands and my arms?
Then we got to close it, man, because remember, you made me promise not to go much off after 20 minutes, so you're the one breaking the rules. You go ahead. I don't care.
Okay,
I'm a rule breaker.
Love on the knuckles, hope on the other.
Oh.
Yeah. And then the heart of Jesus on one hand and the heart of Mary on the other. And then Jesus and stained glass on one hand and Mary on one arm and Mary on the other.
So why aren't you doing that?
Because I can't. I know this sounds really bad, but I can't get myself to spend the money on something like that anymore.
We should do a fundraiser. We'll do a fundraiser.
I'm not discrediting anybody that chooses to. It's me. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I just can't do it anymore.
Now, see, I was going to make an appointment with Sean Ramsey, but now
you can do whatever you want, man. I'm not saying.
I'm just kidding.
Hey, I've seen the work that comes out of there. My wife's got
very good.
My wife's got a couple of them.
Yeah, your wife's got one too. I want to get a Maltese Falcon.
Well, she's got a couple from over at Canal Side too.
Yeah,
but
we'll get
like a lot of things. It's a hang up with me right now, and I'm okay if I don't get over it.
I hope you get it. I hope you get it done.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
All right. Well, this has been a great episode. We actually pressed record, I hope. Let me see. Yeah, it did.
All right. High five. Press record.
All right. Until next time, I'm Tom.
I'm Jack.
You know what to do with your old explicit content. Don't give it to us.
Don't give it to us. Don't give it to the trash man. Just light it on fire.
Light it on fire. All right. Bye.